Ladies and gentlemen, my name is TotalBiscuit. I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Are you ready for an adventure park? Oh, you are not ready for this adventure park. That I can guarantee. This is by a company called Be Alive, which they probably won't be after this. I have to say that their back catalogue is not that amazing. It consists of Airline Tycoon 2, which I'm gonna give them credit for. It wasn't very good, but they actually made an attempt to do something a little bit original with it. Some of the systems in there had some interesting ideas behind them, even if they weren't that fantastic. Unfortunately, Adventure Park is pretty much about as much of a clone of Roller Coaster Tycoon as you could possibly get, and I would love to tell you that it's a good effort, but it doesn't seem to be. Now, because you would love the wonderful music, I'm going to start it again, because if you're in the menu, it just stops the music for no apparent reason, so you have to kind of click continue and then pause it again, so hey. Alright, let's have a look at the options menu. Not impressive, is it? But it's okay, do not worry. You can actually go to user defined. Now, you might be wondering, this is a little strange. Why would your user-defined options menu have some stuff off on some of the sliders quite low? That's very unusual for you. Do you not have two GTX Titans? Yes, indeed I do. Brag, brag, brag. Is this, in fact, not actually the highest setting? Well, you know, let me demonstrate this for you. So, let's knock it down to low, and then go back to user-defined. Look, everything's off. There we go. So, no, this is actually high. This is what the highest preset sets it to. This should worry you greatly, and with good reason. Why on earth would the highest preset have some of these sliders down so low, and some of these options turned off by default? The reason is because this game performs like arse. Absolute, just a ridiculous arse. You do not even know. In the menu, I'm currently averaging 27 frames per second, and that gets worse when you actually get into the game. It performs dreadfully. Even attempting to jack up any more of these settings will result in your game grinding to a halt. I have no idea why. And this is in a tiny park with like 20 guys in it. I cannot imagine how terribly this game will perform when we actually have a larger park. But that doesn't really matter, because the chances are I will never get to that point. I've said it many times before, and it's important that you guys understand this is a first impressions series. Yeah? This is meant to give you a look at the game. I'm going to give you my opinions and a bit of a demo. Yeah? If you're thinking about buying it, then you should be using other sources with this to make your choice. Shouldn't just be relying on this on its own. But, as a first impression series, I think it's my duty to tell people when something really, really sucks. When it's given me a really bad taste in my mouth from the get-go. Adventure Park is that in a nutshell. And I want to explain exactly what's wrong with it. Because yes, first impressions matter. Can you think of any other form of media where you could go for like 3 hours and not actually enjoy the experience, but have someone actually explain, oh no, don't worry, it gets better, it gets better. No, after 3 hours, I'm done. That's the length of a movie. That's the length of a very long movie. Yeah? That's several episodes of a television show. If I don't enjoy it by that point, I am done with it. There is way too much competition, and I have way too little time on this earth. So, let me demonstrate Adventure Park. Please forgive the frame drops, of which there will be bloody many. At double speed, the frame tanks so badly. Right now, I've managed to get... No, there we go. I had it above 30. Now it's sitting on about 23. As you can see, the graphical fidelity very clearly justifies this. I do not even have an explanation for you. I don't. I cannot understand. I'd love to tweak it for you on the fly as we went through this video, but it requires a restart every time you do it. So, yes, welcome to Adventure Park. So, it is a game that is very similar to Roller Coaster Tycoon, only just not very good. If we zoom in right here, the frame rate actually gets acceptable. There we go, you can even clip through everything, like that texture. Oh, wow, it looks like Dungeon Keeper 1. But if you zoom out, well, the frame rate just goes to hell. Thankfully, it's not a game that's really reliant on frame rate, but I'll be damned if I would say that that is remotely acceptable. Also, why the hell is he wandering past my fence? What's this little bloody kid? What's his name? What's his name? Boy 143, return to your designated charging outlet. He only has 1-star attractiveness, folks. He's never getting any. Especially not from Girl 144, who is demanding decorations. So, this is the first level, and I've spent over an hour on this damn level because the tutorial is obnoxiously lengthy. And I'm okay with long tutorials when a game is complicated. This game is not in any way complicated, yeah? The only thing you really have to battle with is the UI, which, to be frank, is not that bad, yeah? I don't like this. The fact of the matter is that if I hover over these should all have tooltips. There you go. They finally came up. Excellent. So you've got your tooltips there, which is nice. And then, if you want to build a ride, you click new rides, and those are all the locked rides you can very clearly see there. And if I want to build a ride, I could build a crocodile ride, which, as it turns out, is just a kind of little horsey that they ride. And then you could go all the way through to something like this, which knocks the frame rate down to about 19, by the way, if you move it around too fast. So that's a little bit embarrassing. So you can build the rides, and the customization with the rides happens on the actual ride itself. So if I click the Kraken, then I will see, here's some information. And this is where the game flat out fails to give you any useful info whatsoever. The prices here are just right for my wallet. It's a bit too pricey for me here. Which is it? Make your mind up. Which? You're not giving me accurate information. I have no idea what my customers are thinking, because apparently they have some kind of split personality disorder. Which is it? Are they just about right, or are they too pricey? I have no idea, because the game refuses to tell you. Of course, if you click on this, you can get a little bit more information, but as you'll notice, there is not a single piece of information anywhere that indicates that these prices are too high, even though this ride is saying that it's too high. As does this one, but it also says... It's a management game, but it's not giving me accurate information to work from. And what makes it all the worse is just what it requires you to do in this tutorial. So right now, what is happening in the tutorial is that I need to get this thing out of debt. The game plunges you into debt from the very start in a horrendous dick move. It makes you hire a 4-star technician, which is incredibly expensive. I'm pretty sure this guy is costing me more than the entire park is making every month, yeah? It's just ridiculous. Now, of course, if you then went on and fired him, I'd imagine you'd be able to do relatively well. But I need him to maintain the Safari Adventure Tour right here, yeah? Which is what's making the most money. As far as I can tell, I think I can jack it up even more. There we go. Yeah? It's good value, it's a very expensive ride, it's 4 stars, which means that I need a 4-star technician to fix it if it goes wrong. So, the game plunges you into a debt from the very start, and then forces you to climb out of it, which takes forever. It really, really does. You got this little mission screen right here, which is, achieve a visitor excitement level of 100%. 100%! You know how difficult it is to get to 100%? It is a nightmare to get to 100%. And before it even gives you this whole revenue generation thing, it gives you a mission where it's like, you cannot progress until everyone in your park is 100% happy. And they will complain about the most minor stuff, yeah? I can't find any rides that I want to go on now. What do you mean? There's rides all over the place. All over here. All of my guys have for some reason wandered around here. There is literally nothing for them to look at in this area. I had to put this fence here just to stop them wandering and doing the entire lap. Because if they did this lap, they would progressively get more upset because there weren't enough decorations in this barren wasteland with nothing useful for them whatsoever. But the AI is so absurdly stupid that they will do that. Now you might think, you should place some signs. Nope, afraid not. There don't appear to be any way to do that whatsoever. Not one. And that would make sense. No, all of these are paths, right? There is not a sign anywhere. So you've got to rely on the AI going in the right direction. And it's not. Where can I find a trash can? Well, gee, what you could have done is stay in the area with the actual bloody rides in it rather than doing this gigantic lap around here for no apparent reason whatsoever. And I can't stop them doing it. Like, the only way to do it seems to be to block this off entirely right here. As far as I can tell, I haven't actually found a way to delete these paths yet. Maybe there's a way. What is this? What does this even mean? You can separate that. Pressing delete doesn't work. Pressing backspace doesn't work. All of these paths come pre-installed in the park to begin with. So they give you a path that is deliberately something that will get all of your guys unhappy. You see, my unhappiness is just... it's plunging, and they're not doing any rides because they've got stuck here, and they're doing this massive, really, really slow loop. Oh, it's infuriating. I also got employees just kind of that stand around and do nothing. I mean, I've got to give him a little bit of credit, at least for some of the detail, because sometimes you'll see guys in the little Jeep, and it's pretty cool to see that, you know? I'm glad that they didn't just skip it, but right now, all of my guys are right here for no reason, and my unhappiness level is increasing because these guys are idiots. Can I get rid of this somehow? How do I do that? I would love to know. You know, the standard thing would be click delete. Is it gone now? Great. Okay, so I can get rid of it. Thank God for that. But all that's going to do is now cause them to wander around this even more. I wish I could just delete this path, but nope, can't do that. So you can click on them to find out exactly what they want. More decorations would be great. There's decorations everywhere. Yeah? Here. These are all decorations. I even put decorations in the bloody endless loop of the eternal void that we have over here, and they still don't care. There's this little skull thing. You can look at that. Where's the trash can? Maybe if you wanted in a sensible bloody direction, you'd find one. I don't even know why he needs one anyway. There's literally nothing in this area for him to actually generate trash from. It seems to me like none of the systems within the game actually interplay in any sensible fashion at all. Which is the absolute way to kill a management game. These systems have to rely on each other. And even in the basic games like Theme Park or Roller Coaster Tycoon, they generate trash because they actually got some food or whatever and they threw stuff everywhere. The funny thing is that they don't seem to show that in any way. I don't think there's any rendered trash, rubbish, garbage, whatever you prefer to call it in your regional bloody dialect, anywhere on this. It's not visually represented. The only thing you've got to worry about is clicking on these guys and finding out what exactly they want. I can't find any rides I want to go on. Then leave! I mean, how long has this person even been here? Quite a decent amount of time. Money spent 3. Like, how can you not find any rides to go on? You've only spent $3, which means you've not been on a single ride. There's one right here. There's this giant rotating squid. What more could you possibly ask for? Just look at it. Just look at this squid. Just stare at it. Look at it. Is that not the most gorgeous looking squid you've ever seen? Like, this is where 90% of the art budget went. That's a gorgeous squid. That is a well-rendered squid. You ignored it entirely, and now you're complaining about rides. What is wrong with you? She just ran into the skulls and then, I can't find any rides I want to go on. I've spent no money. The game doesn't work. Like, it is illogical in every possible way. At least the SimCity engine made some kind of sense. This doesn't make any. And as a result, I'm gradually losing money for no apparent reason. And there's nothing I can do about it, from what I can tell. And this is part of the damn tutorial level. I cannot imagine how ridiculous it gets later on. Now, if I want to talk about the tutorial and just how terrible it actually is, I've got to say, the objectives are the least enjoyable ever. Because I'm sitting here trying to figure out exactly how far I can push these prices after the game is giving me conflicting information about them to try and actually make some money. My finances, which are not... Can I show them? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Can I... Well, there's a bunch of bar charts. There must be... When I clicked this earlier, it gave me a different view that actually gave me my monthly breakdown. Where is it? There it is. Okay, excellent. So, I am losing money. This is how I'm losing money, but the guys are already unhappy about the prices, so how on earth am I supposed to make any more? I cannot even say. And if you're going to design a tutorial, yeah, you introduce the basics, which it kind of did. It said, all right, here's how you hire staff, which is extremely easy to do. Here's what each of these menus do. Oh, there is a demolition tool right there. Good to know. Okay, so there you go. At least there is a way to actually demolish this area. Let's see if we can get rid of this bloody thing. Why are there 7 different demolition tools? I'm really curious about that. Train, but... Oh, I assume that's a building that. Why couldn't you just have one? Surely one size fits all would be good for that. So I guess we have to select the path bulldozer. And then we can actually get rid of this path. And now he's trapped there for all eternity. It's going to be wonderful. He's going to forever suffer in the eternal loop of the void that I have going on here. Yes. I wonder what he's complaining about. I love candy. That's apparently a complaint. He's going to feed himself to death. It's going to be wonderful. He doesn't know where he's going now because I got rid of the path. I didn't really so much get rid of the path as I did slightly Gaussian blur the path, which is not really the same thing. I feel that that wouldn't actually stop anyone from going anywhere. But it introduces you to the basic concept, and then it gives you these horrible objectives that are just no fun to fulfill. You'd think in the basic tutorial, instead of pre-building this, that's like, okay, here's how you design a roller coaster, because, you know, that's the most exciting part of games like this. But they don't. They give you this pre-planned route, and that's it. You can't, as far as I can tell at any rate, you cannot mess with it. Indeed, you can't, because this ride is actually locked. It is a 4-star ride, I think. At least my version of it is, anyway. So one of the positive things about this game is you can actually upgrade somehow. There it is. There we go. So you can actually buy a number of different upgrades, which is pretty cool. You know, you can add a recording of the Indiana Jones film music, which I'm sure is copyright infringement. There you go. Give away photos, increases the maintenance cost, but increases the value of the ride. I like that. Yeah, that's good. That's actually a really nice system. And some of it is visual as well. You don't really get to hear any of the Indiana Jones music, but you don't get to hear anything in this game. The game actually has no sound, from what I could tell. The only thing this game's got going for it is this repetitive 5-minute loop of a soundtrack. I can't hear the rides. I just can't. It's that and just background ambience of birds tweeting. Yeah? You remember Theme Park, where you could actually hear the sounds of a theme park? No. I'm right behind this woman. I'm stalking her. Right here. Can't hear her. There's like a live coral right there that's going to attack you at any moment. You're not remotely worried about this. The best banana textures since Gary's incident. Incredible. No noise. Nothing. It's like, oh, the sound budget ran out when we did the birds tweeting. I'm sorry, we can't get any more sound. And as a result, it is not remotely atmospheric. And it's weird to say, oh, well, do you really need atmosphere? And you need some authenticity, at least. You need to be putting in a little bit of effort. I need to go check the options menu again, just to make sure they didn't accidentally turn it off. No. Speech volume? What speech? I've never heard a single line of dialogue in this entire game so far. I have no idea. Let me just... I'm gonna shut up for about 30 seconds, and you can see if you can hear a single damn thing beyond birds tweeting in this generic soundtrack. So pretty much all I managed to hear there was this little noise around this area of this lifting up and down. You know, where's the screaming? Where's the excitement? Where's the noise of people? No people sounds for some reason. I cannot explain that. It is horribly generic and incredibly tedious. It throws you into this scenario which is not remotely fun to do. It designs the park basically for you. The only thing it lets you do is plonk down like 3 rides. And I had to delete a couple of my rides because the maintenance costs were so high that I wasn't actually making any bloody money. The AI is brain dead. The systems do not interact with each other at all. It is all this horrible facade. And while it at least looks reasonable, as long as you don't zoom in too far, but, you know, there you go. I don't mind that too much. It's a management game. It's not supposed to be Crysis Bloody 3. It looks reasonable, but the performance is just awful. It really is. I'm sorry, 22 FPS for this is not acceptable. Nothing is happening. There's like 20 character models on screen and a couple of spinning rides that are just on an animation loop. There is no justification for this. And if I hear this damn soundtrack one more time, I am gonna go find a ship, get myself a stout, hearty crew, and sail the bloody seas just to escape from it. It'll be in my nightmares. I'll be in my hammock in the captain's quarters, surrounded by plunder and busty wenches, and I'll wake in a cold sweat, thinking about this damn soundtrack. And my gradually decreasing bank balance. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter. You can keep just building stuff even if you're in the minuses. It doesn't seem to be any circumstance or consequence to that at all, but... Oh. There are times when I would love to show you the rest of the game, but I can't. I can't. Like, I don't know, because it's like, raise the prices. All right, let's just jack up all of the prices. Then everyone gets... Apparently this is now great. No, it's too pricey now. All right. Which is it? You want to tell me? Oh, now apparently it's too pricey at entry price. Oh, I am so through with this. This is the stupidest thing. Oh. bloody disaster area. Don't get caught in the siren song of this. I know, you want another Roller Coaster Tycoon game. I want another Roller Coaster Tycoon game. This is not it. This sullies the very memory. Please don't. What a bloody disaster. If you don't mind, I'm going to leave Pirates Cove and never return. My name's been TotalBiscuit. Thank you very much for watching. Adventure Park. Anything but. I'll see you next time.